Last time, on Call It a Night,
I want it to be a night.
the crew was formed. Eris is joined by the immoral Armin,
I love it when they beg and bow like that.
the loquacious Linus,
Please don't shoot me again.
the wondrous Winifred,
I don't suppose you'll need a witch on your quest.
the insightful Ida,
All people of value, you know. You can't treat them like we don't.
the tenacious Theodora,
Mother Margaret, you said my handwriting looks like a drum.
and the carefree Caine.
Perhaps not. But when you have my charm and smile, you find that the mind is of less importance.
Together, it is their duty to find Prince Doran and return him to his kingdom and his people. But can they find a prince that doesn't want to be found? Only time will tell. Today, on Call It a Night.
Uh-oh? What does that mean? Why, uh-oh? Did you see who nabbed him?
In my vision, he was wandering alone, but he's in a lot of trouble.
Why?
Samadivi.
Winifred, love, you're going to have to be a little more specific. Ida and I aren't like you. We have no idea what that is.
Samadivi are vile creatures. Have you ever heard of the Greek sirens?
Should I have?
Darling, I love you. You're so tragically useless sometimes. Essentially, a Samadivi, like a siren, uses its beautiful voice to draw in all those that are near. But unlike the sirens, they don't just lure people to their death. The Samadivi enjoy doing the killing.
Care to elaborate?
Well, they have some oddities to their nature.
Good lord, woman, stop beating around the bush.
All right. Basically, a Samadivi is vindictive by nature. They lure men to their home, usually a cave or something like that, and they, how do I put this succinctly? Steal their life energy?
Well, that sounds ridiculous.
There's nothing ridiculous about it. They kill people for fun. It's messy and needless.
And how about immoral?
Right. Sure, that too. Anyway, it's said that no man can resist the call of the Samadiva, and at the sight of them, women are so distraught that they throw themselves off a cliff.
A cliff just always happens to be around.
Excuse me?
It does seem convenient. Maybe that's part of their power.
Ah, yes, the useful ability of generating cliffs wherever you happen to be.
I think that would make for a pretty useful power in battle.
That's a good point. What do you think, Winifred? Think you can manage some cliff generation for us?
I'm glad you two think this is funny. Samadivi are nearly impossible to kill. I might have a few ideas if it comes to that, but we should really try to avoid them at all possible. And it would be best for everyone if we left the men at home if we do have to confront the Samadivi.
Why do they prefer sucking the life out of men?
Historical justification.
Meaning?
Women have historically bothered them less. Solidarity and all that jazz.
Jazz?
Oh, that's right. You're you. Don't worry about it, darling. You'll be dirt long before it becomes relevant.
Do you ever think about what you say before you say it?
Obviously not.
Okay, so we'll leave the men at whatever inn we find nearby. Do you actually have any idea where the Samadivi may be? Winifred, do you have any?
I do.
Are you planning on sharing with us?
There's a bit of a problem.
Of course there is.
What is it, Winifred?
At one point or another, I may have had to leave this particular village to avoid, shall we say, a drowning.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I don't know. The years tend to blend together.
Could you narrow it down a little?
Let's see. I had just mastered fire spells, so that was 5, maybe 100 years ago.
100 years?
I have an excellent skincare regimen.
We'll have to risk it, Winifred. If there's any shot that it could be where Doran is, we need to find him. Or do you want us to give up before we've begun?
All right. I'll save you the theatrical speech. It's up north from here, a little coastal town in the kingdom of Polosha. There's a forest just beyond their fields. I think that's where he was, though why he wouldn't have stayed in town, I have no idea.
Maybe he managed to escape his captors. He probably has no idea where he's going. I doubt he's ever been out of his castle before, much less his kingdom.
That's fair, I suppose. We should get some rest. Polosha is at least a week's journey, and we'll be going through some dangerous woods.
All right. Night, Winnie. Night, Ida.
Good night.
Harmon?
Yes, Linus.
Why did you threaten that man?
He called Ida a harlot, Linus.
Yes, but why do you care?
Go to bed, Linus.
But
Sleep. Now.
is it just because she's pretty?
Linus!
Because there are a lot of pretty noble girls.
Linus?
I just don't think what to prove.
Another word, Linus, and it will cost you your tongue. Good night.
Good night.
I'm not really going to cut out your tongue, Linus.
Why is it so unbearably bright in here?
The sun is out, Caine.
Could you fix that?
Yeah, I'll get right on that. You know, right after I turn ale into water and declare myself the mighty creator.
I think you have that wrong. Why do you plague me?
Good morrow, good woman. Good morning, Caine.
How do you manage to be worse than the plague?
I don't know what that means, but the day is new, the sun is bright, and adventure awaits just beyond the stretch. Aren't you just so excited?
Overjoyed.
Good morning. Theodora, was it?
Yes, that's right. And can I just say, I think it's wonderful that you're striking out on your own like this. Mother Margaret wouldn't approve, of course. She'd probably think you'd burn for this. But I don't think so. Sorry, I'm probably babbling, probably a little overstimulated. I just haven't been outside the nunnery for a while. Isn't this exciting?
Whoa.
What's his problem?
He slept here last night.
At the table?
On the table.
Oh. How'd that work out for you?
You have a wicked sense of humor, you know.
Where are you two coming from?
Horses?
Pardon?
We just bought a few more horses for traveling. What's wrong with you, Linus?
You're crazy, Winifred.
Well, of course I am, but I'm only telling you what I saw.
And usually you make strong predictions, but in this case you were absolutely, without a doubt, 100% wrong.
Whatever you like to believe, darling.
What are you two talking about?
Nothing.
That was not convincing.
I'll tell you later. When we're not in mixed company.
Gotcha.
Are we about ready to head out?
I don't know. Caine, could you stay upright on a horse?
Oh, I'll be fine. So long as no one talks loud, then I can keep my eyes closed.
Feel like you need your eyes open to ride a horse.
Oh, you little faith.
Well, what are we waiting for? Come on!
Ow! She must stay far away from me.
We'll do our best.
Perhaps I could ride next to this fair lass?
Fair lass.
Quite fair. Your voice does not do such horrible things to my head, and the light is not so nearly painful when you're the one standing in it.
Oh, brother.
Well, aren't you a charmer?
Okay. Actually, I prefer it if you didn't ride next to that fair lass.
I second that opinion.
Oh, all right. What about you, fair maiden?
I'm flattered, love, but I'm a little old for you.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Well, she does have an excellent skincare regimen.
Huh. Are you absolutely certain I can't ride near? Oh.
Oops.
Come on now, we can figure out who rides where when we get on our way.
Agreed. But I'll be riding near you and Winifred if you don't mind.
I figured as much.
Pull over here.
We're stopping again?
Horses need the rest, Linus.
Linus has a point. It's still light out.
And the horses are fine. We've been walking them for the past 2 hours. If anything, they're restless.
And our progress has been exceedingly slow. We've been traveling for a week. We should be there already. If he was with the Samadivi, he would be long dead by now.
Look, I think I know what I'm doing, okay? War hero here. Anybody else a war hero? Caine, put your hand down.
Well, you asked.
Just trust me.
Fine. I guess I could use a break from all this walking.
What a lovely forest. I think I'd like to go exploring.
I'll go too.
No, you won't. You're going to help me collect tinder for a fire.
Yes, my liege.
Winifred, go with Theodora and make sure she doesn't wander off a cliff, please.
Do I have to?
Remember the first night we made camp? She fell in a hole. It took us hours to find her. Do you want to repeat that, or do you want to be helpful?
Fine.
Armin and Linus are on fire. Caine, I assume you're on hunting.
Much obliged, Eris.
I'll see about berries.
And I'll see about setting up camp. Shout if you need anything.
I really don't mind all the stopping, you know. I do love spending time in the woods.
I've always been more of a cottage person. The woods do terrible things to my nose.
But the air is so clean and the trees so beautiful. And the birds are usually so funny.
How so?
Well, they talk about the strangest things.
The birds talk to you. That's utterly ridiculous. What do they say?
Well, right now they're talking about bandits in the woods.
They seem safe enough to me.
I need something. I definitely need something. Gosh, get away. Actually, fight like that. Ugh.
Well, I'll be.
Let's go!
This was so much easier when it was just a defenseless girl in the middle of the woods.
What do you mean defenseless?
Ow! Quitman, she hit me!
I'm dealing with my own problems here, Jiminy.
Oh, me? A problem? I wouldn't think of it.
He's like an ogre.
An ogre? Listen, you vile swine. I've been traveling for 7 days without a proper stop. But no, and I mean no one gets to compare me to an ogre.
I made the handsome ogre mad.
Ah! Putting the word handsome in front of the word ogre does not make it any less hurtful.
I think I see the light. Mama! Mama!
Oh, please, 'tis but a scratch. Stand and fight, coward. Are you playing dead? Oh, you sadden me.
Guys, a little help! Quitman! Are you seriously playing dead?
These bandits are fools.
Who are you calling a fool?
The fool.
You think you have it bad, Jiminy? She may be giving you physical scars, but at least she's not giving you emotional ones! Sadman, wait for me!
Quitman, was it? You can go.
Thank you.
We should have killed them.
Oh, please, I sincerely doubt those three are going to become hardened criminals. Plus, we don't know what territory we're in, and we don't really know who those people are. Best to avoid any sort of incident.
The good woman is right. Lovely bit of bloodshed, though. You handled yourself well, fair lass. Where'd you learn to fight with such vigor?
You know, a bull here, crazy street man there.
Well, it was most impressive. Though it occurred to me that if we're going to be continuing on such a dangerous quest, you should probably learn some swordplay. I'd be more than happy to teach you.
Well,
Hang on a minute. I'm the one working on becoming a knight. Shouldn't I be the one getting lessons in swordplay?
She does make a good point there.
Well, I suppose you can come too.
While you're at it, why don't you take Linus with you? His technique is terrible.
Well, all right.
And you know, you really only need 3 to practice sword fighting. 2 to spar and 1 to instruct. Why don't I teach Ida some archery? And you can focus on instructing Eris and Linus.
archery really is more my speed.
All right, then. You win this one, my friend.
I don't think she'd appreciate being thought of as an object to be won. Friend. Ready, Ida?
Ready.
Winifred, do you mind looking after Theodora?
Well, about that.
Great! Thank you.
Why does the universe always punish me?
Don't you think Caine is handsome? I think he's very handsome. He's so strong. Did you see the way he shanked that bandit? It was so impressive. Don't you think this flower is pretty? Oh, what a shame. It looks like it's wilted. I wish it would be as lively as it once was. Oh, I must have been mistaken. It's gorgeous and so vibrant and tall.
This can't possibly be happening to me. She can't possibly be a...
Doesn't that rock look like a toad? Oh, it jumped! I knew it looked like a toad! That bloodstain is ugly. I wish it would go away. Oh, it must have been a the shadow, silly me.
Oh, God, no, she's a witch.
Oh, please, I'm only tapping you. I haven't even cut the leather.
You do well not to. Sir Armin is about to be returned in the same condition.
I don't think he cares.
Of course he cares.
Eris wins. You have good natural technique.
Thank you.
What about me?
You sadden me greatly. Come now, boy, don't look so hurt. Your grip is terrible. Can you even lift your sword?
Of course I can. Don't you see me? Lifting it.
Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. Look at your stance. You look like a fledgling sparrow destined to die, young and unloved.
I look dying one. Aren't you afraid she's gonna break a hip or something?
Keep making comments like that, and I'll definitely break a hip.
I'll demonstrate, Linus. Watch closely, and then you're going to go again.
You're holding it wrong.
Really?
You're gripping it so tight, your knuckles are turning white. Relax your grip. You'll have better control of the bow.
That's not intuitive.
No, it isn't. But trust me on this one. Just relax a little bit. You aren't trying to snap the thing in half. Nice shot.
I meant to hit the tree.
Okay. Just watch me. See? Easy.
So not easy.
Come on, try again.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be better with the sword.
You're giving up just like that?
I've been trying for an hour.
Huh.
What?
Nothing. I just hadn't pegged you as a quitter, that's all.
I'm not a quitter. That's such a juvenile thing to say.
Is it a juvenile thing to say, or is it a juvenile thing to get upset about?
I'm not a quitter.
Okay, you're not a quitter.
I'm not. You have to be so condescending.
Condescending?
This whole time you've been treating me like a child. Worse, I expected you to pat me on the head like a dog.
That's ridiculous.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
God, you can be so infuriating sometimes. I say that and I've only known you for a week.
You're one to talk. You're one of the most stubborn women I've ever met. You're only one worse than you is your mother.
Don't speak so contemptuously about a woman doing her best to save your cousin. God, he's your family. Shouldn't you be focused on that? Don't you care he's in danger?
Of course I do.
Oh. Well, then maybe try to be a little more respectful to the people trying to help you. Linus in particular, you're so mean to him.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You are?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. You know, I used to think I was pretty good at talking to people. My men loved me back when we were fighting. I guess I was a bit kinder. But I don't know. This whole quest, I think some part of me doesn't want us to find Doran. Some part of me thinks he'd be better off if we just called it. Just packed up and went home.
He's in mortal peril. How could he possibly be better off?
You don't understand. My uncle, he's not a very good man. He and Doran are so different from each other. Doran's so gentle. When we were young, he always insisted that for every hour I spent hunting or fighting or learning to kill things, I had to spend an hour with him watching the birds or the young foals, whatever other innocent joy he could think of. Every time I came back from sword lessons, he'd serenade me with a song about Sir Armin and his mighty exploits. God, he was a terrible singer.
Mighty exploits.
Apparently, in the course of an hour, I was able to slay a dragon, a troll, and a banshee, and befriend a fairy and a lightning bird.
Well, you do strike me as efficient.
Yeah.
So, your uncle is...
What about you? Got any childhood exploits?
I rode a bull once when I was 13.
Did you have a death wish?
Nope, just a very evil older brother who convinced me it would be simple. It was not, but it was sort of exhilarating in the moment.
How exactly?
I don't know. I'd never done anything challenging before. That was challenging. In a weird way, I may have gotten a little bruised, but cheating death gave me some much-needed confidence.
Wild woman. I had you pegged as sensible.
Oh, I am. It was just one moment of sheer stupidity. Everyone gets at least one. It's up to fate to make sure it doesn't kill them.
Fate's a cruel mistress. I don't think I'd trust her with my life. I'm gonna try shooting one more time and then we'll head back.
Did you see that?
Good shot.
Good, come on, I nailed that sucker. That was great.
Yes, you did a great job. Hitting that very close, very broad stationary object.
She'd be so difficult.
Sorry.
Yes, darling.
You were right.
I always am, dear.
Armin, your bird's here.
Again? Is he going to be sending that thing every day?
Have I missed something?
This is the magic messenger bird my uncle keeps pestering me with.
We call it a birdinger.
We most certainly do not. Do you have your report for the day ready, Theodora?
Right here.
Excellent. I'm off to write yet another letter for my aunt's personal reassurance.
Have fun with that.
Dear nephew, it has come to my attention that your progress is horrifyingly slow.
At this rate, it's more than likely that he'll have starved or frozen to death. You've also chosen an excellent scribe. Her writing is terrible, and no one will ever be able to read it. Speaking of which, be sure to burn these letters when you're done reading them. Battered as well, he's taken to fishing with his hands. He's getting good. The odd part is that when he catches them, he doesn't cook them. I imagine he gains some sort of pleasure from eating raw fish in the middle of a river. Strange boy. The servants are getting frustrated trying to clean fish guts out of his canvas shirts. On a more serious note, in your previous letters it sounded as if you were having doubts. May I reiterate, nephew, that this is not up for debate. If you do not bring back Doran's body, then you shall take his place. When you look at him, I want you to see him the way I see him. A blight, a leech, and a fool. Love, Uncle Renier.
Dear uncle, I know. Sincerely, nephew. Dear Armin, Renier has said...
Last he checked, you were 3 days out of Halosha. Is this true? Oh, Armin, do hurry. I miss him so terribly, and he's always been so small. I fear he'll never be able to fend for himself. Badarad seems to have gone madder since you've left. I know he's your brother, and you love him, but he's a freak, and I can't stand to be alone with him. He has these terrible eyes that stare into your soul and send shivers down your spine. If he were a peasant, I'd have him hanged or banished. The idea of him being a king is ridiculous. Renier is so stubborn, and I think I might hate him. How do you put up with his family? Love, and Senga.
Dear Aunt Senga, while I love Badarad, even I don't like being alone with him. When we were young, he would dig for ants and eat them. I have never been the same since witnessing that. I'm sorry progress has been slow, but Doran is smart and resourceful, and he has your heart. He will be fine. I know Renier can be difficult. Know that he does what he thinks is best for the kingdom. I hope you've been doing at least a little better, and I encourage you to breathe. All will be well. Love, Armin. Such a liar.
Try the melon in the catapult next.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Did you see that thing explode?
Put me in the catapult next. I want to go in the catapult.
Ready, guys? 1, 2.
What in God's name are you idiots doing?
We're gonna see how far this thing can launch me.
And how bad he explodes when he lands.
Yeah! Wait. Explode?
No, you most certainly are not.
But I want to fly.
You won't fly, you'll fall. Back to your post.
You're no fun anymore, Reginald.
Look at them out there, fooling around, dropping things from catapults. I'm in a kingdom of ignoramuses. I miss Armin. Senga, my love, what are you doing in here?
Armin's letters have arrived.
Did you read his response to mine, dear?
No, I don't read other people's letters. That would be rude. I can tell it's short, though. Some of the ink bled through.
2 words? And a sincerely? What am I, his mother?
His mother is dead, dear.
Like it matters. What did he write to you?
Hold on a second. I'm still reading.
Very nice, you insufferable hag.
He's such a sweet boy.
Well, what did he say?
That's none of your business.
Well, what did yours end with?
Love, of course. What else?
That's so unfair. You're not even related to him.
Yet I get love and you get sincerely. How sad for you.
Sometimes I wonder if peace is worth having to deal with you and that boy.
Doran could be dead, and still, all you can do is badmouth him.
The boy wove me a belt, Senga. He wove me a belt. How can I not hate him?
You're a toad, Renier.
How dare you?
Your son is stranded in the middle of God knows where with God knows who, and all you can do is think about yourself!
I'm tired of rehashing this, Senga. Go, think of other things. Get out!
Fine, I'll go think about other things. Like orchestrating a coup, for example!
Pest. I miss Armin.
Hello, weary travelers. Please excuse Jenny. It's strange to see men in our town, especially such important-looking, attractive men.
Oh, I thank you, good woman. I've been called an ogre this week, and it's good to hear a compliment.
Not a problem. No, I don't mean to be rude. But why are you here, and what do you want? We aren't overly fond of outsiders here. It's why we had to send the other man away.
What other man?
Young fellow, rather useless-looking. He carried a lute and wore a stupid hat.
That's him. Did you see where he went?
Of course not. I don't trouble myself with outsiders. But Jenny here probably did. She sleeps in the gutter.
'Tis a very comfortable bed.
Wretched woman.
Linus, that's no way to talk to the poor.
She's not poor. She runs the fish market. She's the richest woman in town.
It seems the stress has gotten.
Jenny.
Huh?
Let me be. Tell these people where that man went, and these men will leave.
He went to the forest, just like the rest of the men. The call of the Samadivi. So powerful, so alluring. You better lock Caine up or they'll eat him alive.
Sounds about right.
You and Linus will be no better off.
I don't know. I think they'd be a little better off.
Still. Ida, Theodora, you better stay here and watch after them.
I think I'd be quite pleased with that arrangement. I'd love to get to know you better, Ida.
I'm sure you would.
Alright, Caine, but only to make sure we don't have a repeat of our first day of travel. We should be moving again tomorrow to make up for lost time, so best to stop after one ale. That's what you think.
But of course, I only drink when afflicted with boredom, but I doubt I'll be bored in your company.
But of course.
Ermengarde, where's your local inn?
Right behind Jenny. Try not to step on her on the way in. She bit the ankle of the last woman to do that.
Oh my! Duly noted.
Ow! Hey! She bit me!
Well, they did give you a fair warning, Linus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you have any rooms available?
We have all the rooms available. We don't get many people through here. After taking a look around, the people at the docks usually decide to just stay on their ship. Occasionally they come in for an ale.
Perhaps if you all took better care of your village people would be more inclined to stay here. I thought women would be good at this sort of thing.
You're working my last nerve, Linus.
If you decide to kill him, I'll just tell the people at home that the bears got to him.
Hey! What makes you think we want people coming through here anyway?
We're sure you don't. We'll be out of here by morning. We just need a place to stay for the night.
So long as you pay up front, you can take your pick. Pleasure doing business with you.
All right, you five get settled. Winifred and I will head out to investigate the woods. Stay alert. Don't let the boys do anything stupid.
Stupid? Well, I've never done anything stupid in my life.
Uh-huh. Sure, Caine. You going somewhere?
Just checking on the horses. Maybe taking a look around the town to see if Doran left any hints for us. Would you like to join me?
Well,
Barkeep, I'll take an ale.
I should probably keep an eye on Caine.
Understandable.
Armin, stay safe, okay?
I can handle myself pretty well. But thank you.
I thought you said you didn't like that man.
Oh, shut up.
No need to be so sensitive about it. It's good you two are getting along. You should trust the members of your party with your life. To dislike them can be very dangerous.
You speak from experience.
Unfortunately, a member of my own party tried to stab me once. Luckily, I was a giant, and he was an ant. It was like being pricked by a thorn.
You and Armin are only a few years older than me, yet you've done so much. Where'd you find the time?
There's always time. Life is made up of millions of moments. To live it to the fullest is to experience those moments as if they were frozen still, just for you. Plus, I can't speak for Armin, but When you come out of the womb running, you tend to get a lot done.
Oh, gross! You see something so beautiful and then you ruin it with an image that will haunt me for the rest of my life.
My apologies, Ida. But at least I won't fade from your memory.
Oh, you can count on that. You're quite the character, Caine.
Thank you. I think I get it from my mother. She was a wonder. A horrible, difficult, mean-spirited woman, but an inspiring one nonetheless. She raised me, you know. My father died when I was very young. The town kept trying to marry her off to some merchant 3 times her age. Her father was insistent. So she left, built a cabin in the woods with her own 2 hands. Hunted, fished, foraged, got everything she needed in the woods. I didn't know society existed until I was 15.
Oh, that's sort of impressive.
She taught me everything I know. She was horrified when she found out I did some mercenary work, though. I fought in war. I paid well, and I was good at it. That and the hunting kept me traveling for a few years. I'd just gotten back to make amends when your mother offered me this quest. That very day, in fact.
Well, what did she say when you got there?
Nothing. She was dead.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Barkeep, I'll have another. To my mother, that horrible, wonderful old hag will be running hell by the time I get down there.
To your mother.
Another barkeep.
Caine.
I have a name, you know. It's Berthina.
Berthina?
The innkeeper.
Linus, don't you think Caine is so handsome?
I suppose so, but a bit too much if you ask me. I mean, look at his arms. Scratch that. Don't look at his arms. He looks like a giant sausage in that shirt.
That's nice.
So, Eris, how are you doing?
Fine. I hope we don't find Doran's corpse, that's all.
That's not what I meant, and you know it. Arthur just died, Eris. How are you really?
I'm fine, Winifred. I don't want to talk about this. How are you?
Terrible. Theodora's a witch. I've been wrestling with her for 2 days.
What?
I know, it's horrible. According to the witch's code, being the first one to have witnessed her wield her powers, she must become my apprentice. But you've met her, she's the worst. I can't possibly deal with being around that.
She's not so bad. Plus, if she's a witch, you should help her before she lets something slip. I'm sure being a witch in this day and age can be terrifying.
The little idiot doesn't even realize what she's doing. Not a clue or care in the world.
She's not an idiot, Winifred. Did I just step on a dead guy?
Oh dear, I hope that wasn't Doran.
Please get this ribcage off my foot.
I imagine the Semadivi are near. You stay put. I'll handle it from here.
Hold on a second. I thought you said that they were bad for women, too.
Oh, darling, I'm not a woman. I'm a witch.
I don't think those things are mutually exclusive!
Actually, I think I'm most unwelcome.
She's horrible. We're colliding. Make her go away.
Well, that's a little hurtful. Now, stay nice, or I'll set your hair ablaze.
What is it that you want from us?
There was a boy who wandered through the woods earlier last week.
The boy with the lute? To Pickering! I mean, what boy with a lute? There was no boy with a lute in the hat.
Brilliant one you've got there. You clearly saw. Now, what did you do to him?
No matter what we say, you'll just kill us. So go ahead and kill us.
All right.
No, wait. Fine. He came through here, we lured him in like we lured all of them in. But we let him go. He headed off towards Pentelis.
You've been most helpful.
You said you would let us go.
I lied. Not a she-demons.
I smell smoke. Did everything go okay?
Never you mind the smoke. They say they let him go. It's doubtful. If they did, it was probably because they have an affinity for musicians. I'll fill you in when we get to the group. For now, though, we should run, in case there's some of those nasty ones that can get through fire.
Winifred!
You guys smell like smoke.
We should go. Winifred definitely pissed off the Samadivi.
My intention was to kill them.
Attempting to kill people and leaving them alive is very, very bad practice.
I'm inclined to agree.
You think you two could do it better, because I'd love to see you try.
Enough of this. We need to go.
Caine can't even stand.
Then lay him on the back of a horse and give it a good slap, because we're in mortal peril and I'm calling the shot.
Hold! Fine. Linus, wake up. We're leaving.
What?
Shut up.
Where are we going?
Pendelis.
Are you kidding me?
Dora, you idiot.
It's Pendelis back.
The worst.
We'll have time for that later. Go! Go!
You're leaving already.
Yeah, so you know those Samadivvi that killed all your men? So Winifred sort of accidentally set their homes on fire.
Fascinating. You know, this inn has a rich history with fire. About 100 years ago, a witch stayed in this very tavern. Hag set her own room on fire. You can see her depicted there, and hey, you look just like...
Well, we should be going. Toodaloo!
Witch! Witch!
And so our heroes ride on towards peril, leaving destruction in their wake. What did Winifred tell Ida? What is to become of Theodora and her abilities? Will Eris fail on her mission to find Doran? Will Queen Senga actually organize a coup? For that, you'll have to join us next time on Call It a Night.